All right, thanks, guys. The Kia Tigers take on the Hanwha Eagles in a 5:30 a.m. first pitch. Kia's the $1.33 favorite with the total at 9.5, juice to the under. If you like the Eagles in an upset, they're plus $1 on the money line and minus $1.75 catching the run and a half. And before we go ahead and break this one down, I just have to quickly remind you that we're coming off another winning day in our premium sports picks on patreon.com/Brock Page. Went 2-1 yesterday in our premium picks on that site, and that's going to improve our record to 13-3 with a push in our last 17 plays on that website. Now, more specifically, we're currently 9-1 with a push in our last 11 daily extra pick tier package plays on that website as well. Good for 90% during that span. And of course, that's a site that I operate that gives you premium daily sports picks beginning at just $1.99 through the end of the month. We'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But before we go ahead and move on, let's take a look at some South Korean KBO baseball action. And let's go ahead and dive back into this Kia versus Hanwha matchup. And speaking of the Hanwha Eagles, they're coming off a tough 2-1 loss at the hands of this very Kia Tiger squad. Hanwha also lost their last 4 straight, averaging just 2.7 runs per contest during that stretch. Their 1-5 record in their last 6 is good for just 16% during that span. They're taking on a Kia Tiger squad who's currently on a 2-match win streak, including an impressive 12-3 victory over the Samsung Lions. They also won 3 out of their last 5, including an 8-5 win over the Kaiwoom Heroes. Total-wise, 2 out of Kia's last 4 contests stayed under the total of 9.5 runs. 3 out of their last 6 also stayed under that number. Meanwhile, on the other side, 2 out of Hanwha's last 3 stayed under that total themselves. Matter of fact, 6 out of their last 7 stayed under the 9.5 as well. Looks like a pretty good spot for an underplay here. Give me the Kia Tigers, minus 133, getting the job done for some moneyline cash, and the under 9.5 in that contest. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Wednesday's KBO South Korean baseball action. Now, before we go ahead and move on with the program, I just want to quickly remind you once again to check me out on my website at patreon.com/Brock Page, where once again we're coming off yet another winning day on that website yesterday, going 2-1 in our 3 premium selections on that website Monday. That improved our record to 13-3 with a push in our last 17 premium plays on that website yesterday. And we also improved to 9-1 with a push in our last 11 extra daily pick tier package plays, good for 90% in that particular category as well. And that is a very good package for us right now. We do daily premium sports picks on that website beginning at just $1.99 through the end of the month. We also have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. We'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. Currently, we have well over 575 members currently signed up and active on that page. Now, you might be wondering, why would all those folks sign up to receive Patreon picks? Well, they can get them right here for free on YouTube, and that's certainly a great point, a great concern. But there is a big problem with me handicapping every single game that's on the board, side and total. And the problem is this. If you were to bet every single game that's on the slate that I put out here on YouTube, side and total, well, you are virtually guaranteeing yourself failure. And I know that sounds crazy to hear me say that, but you just kind of have to hear me out for a second. If you're going to go ahead and bet every single game that's on the slate with your hard-earned money, side and total, it's certainly not a winning formula for success. And as a matter of fact, it's a recipe for disaster. The books are way too smart. They're way too sharp. They have a whole lot more money than you and I do combined to be able to absorb that kind of action. And most importantly, guys, you got to listen to me on this one. The math becomes aggressively against you the more and more games you play like that. So what I do on Patreon is I make life a lot easier for you. I break it down and focus in on just 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're high percentage picks, games that I personally have action on. And I'll tell you this much, my current Patreon record is a whole lot better than it is here on YouTube, handicapping every single game that's on the board, side and total. And the good news is this: if you want to go ahead and check out my current Patreon record, you can actually do that for free right now. You have access to it. It's located right on the homepage. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. I'll also include a link in the comment section below for you as well. And once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive back into some more free lines and personal leans. Next game, SK Wyverns squaring off against the LG Twins, 5:30 a.m. first pitch. Wyverns are minus 125, total 7.5, heavily juiced to the over. And if you like the Twins in an upset, they're plus $1 on the money line and minus $1.82 catching the run and a half. And speaking of the Twins, they're coming off an impressive 9-5 victory over Wyverns in their last contest. They're also currently on a 2-game win streak where they put up a 10 spot on the second place NC Dinos. The Twins have scored 19 runs in their last 2 games. They also put up an 8 spot on the Duzan Bears in the season opener. They're taking on a Wyverns team who lost their last 2 straight, including a humiliating 4-0 shutout loss to the Lotte Giants. Wyverns is currently on a 4-game losing streak where they're giving up 8 runs a game on average during that stretch. Wyverns is currently in last place in the 10-team division. Now, total-wise, Wyverns saw 3 out of their last 4 fly way over the total of 7.5 runs. Meanwhile, on the other side, LG saw their last 4 straight fly over that number as well. Guess it's no surprise that the total is egregiously juiced to the over right now. But with all that said and done, give me the Underdog LG Twins plus $1 and the over 7.5 in that contest. All right, next matchup, it is going to be the Doosan Bears taking on the Lotte Giants, 5:30 a.m. Eastern first pitch. Doosan's minus 175, totals 10.5. And if you like the Giants in an upset, they're plus 135 on the money line and minus 133 catching the run and a half. And speaking of the Giants, they've won 2 out of their last 4, including a solid 4-zip shutout win over SK Wyverns during that span. They're also 5-1 straight up in their last 6 and find themselves just half a game back of first place in the league. Now, total-wise, 2 out of the Giants' last 3 got over the total of 10.5 runs. Meanwhile, on the other side, Doosan's last 4 straight got over that number themselves. Give me the Giants plus 1.5 and the over 10.5 in that contest. Next game, KT Wiz taking on the NC Dinos, 5:30 a.m. Eastern first pitch. The Dinos are minus 167, totals 9.5, juice to the under. And if you like the Wiz as the underdog, they're plus 130 on the money line and minus $1.62 catching the run and a half. And speaking of this Wiz team, they're coming off a tough 7-6 loss to this very Dinos squad. The Wiz blew a 3-run lead to lose that one. KT's also lost 2 out of their last 3, including another heartbreaker, 13-12. That loss came against the Bears, where they committed 3 errors. KT's 1-5 record is good for a win percentage of just 167 and tabs them currently in last place in the 10-team KBO. The Dinos on the other side have won 2 out of their last 3, including a 13-run performance against the LG Twins. The Dinos are averaging 9 runs per contest in their last 4 outings. They're also just half game back of first place in the standings. Now, total-wise, the Dinos' last 2 straight got over the total of 9.5 runs. Matter of fact, their last 4 straight got over that number as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Wiz last 2 straight got over that total themselves. They also saw their last, couple straight get over the 9.5 as well. Looks like a pretty nice spot for an overplay here. Give me the Dinos minus 167 and the over 9.5. Next and final matchup, Samsung, Kai Woom, 5:30 a.m. first pitch. No surprises here as Kai Woom's the $1.88 favorite, totals 8.5. Juice to the over. And if you like the Lions getting the job done, they're plus $1.40 for an outright win and minus 154 catching the 1.5. And speaking of the Lions, they're coming fresh off a heartbreaking 3-2 loss to this first place Heroes team. The Lions got up 1-0 early but couldn't hang on, committing 2 errors in the contest. Samsung's also on a 2-game losing streak where they suffered an embarrassing 12-3 loss to the Kia Tigers during that span. Their 2-5 record is good for a win percentage of just .286. They're taking on a hero squad who's won their last 4 straight, holding their opponents to just 2.7 runs per contest on average during that stretch. Their 6-1 record on the season is good for first place, and currently they have an .857 win percentage. Now, total-wise, Kaiwoom saw 2 out of their last 3 outings stay under the total of 8.5 runs. 4 out of their last 6 also stayed under that total. Meanwhile, on the other side, Samsung saw 4 out of their last 7 stay under that number themselves. Gonna fade the early bettors on the total in this one. Give me Kaiwoom -1.5 and the under 8.5 in that contest. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Tuesday or Wednesday to you, depending on when you're watching this. And best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.